Good afternoon, all. SAKTHI Institute of Information and Management Studies is well pleased to welcome you all to the Valedictory session of two-day international conference on Global Business Change and Transformation E-Summit 2021. The goal of every business transformation should ensure that best processes and systems are being implemented within an organization. For many organizations, this is not a simple process, particularly after the pandemic. The COVID-19 outbreak is a sharp reminder that pandemics, like other rarely occurring catastrophes, have happened in the past, and it will continue to happen in the future. Even if we can't prevent untoward circumstances from emerging, we should prepare to dampen their effects on society. The current outbreak has had severe economic consequences across the globe, and it does not look like any country will be unaffected. This not only has consequences for the economy, all of society is affected, which has led to dramatic changes in how businesses act and consumers behave. This conference has made efforts to address the business change and transformation and pandemic-related issues affecting society as a whole. We have received papers from varied sectors like education, marketing, SMEs, cybersecurity, and so forth. Yes, we have now arrived at the end of two-day international conference on Global Business Change and Transformation E-Summit 2021. Now, I request Dr. R. Sharmila, Professor Sims, to deliver the welcome address.
A warm good evening to all. The COVID-19 pandemic is a health and humanitarian crisis, and business are rapidly adjusting. While the crisis unfolds, leaders should also prepare for what is coming next, but not the next normal. The new reality taking shape is made of complexity, uncertainty, and opportunities. To adapt and thrive, organizations must accelerate and become resilient and agile. The two-day international conference on global business change and transformation has addressed the deep changes needed in this new environment from a people, operations, and technology perspective. On this august occasion, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome all for the valedictory session. It's my privilege to welcome our most respected director, Dr. P. Subramanian, who had been instrumental in organizing this conference for this session. Hearty welcome, sir. I'm very much honored to welcome the chief guest, Dr. R. Maran Marimuthu, Professor in Management, Petronas Technical University, Malaysia, for the valedictory session. Hearty welcome, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. R. Tiagu, Head Academic Sims and convener of this program, faculty members, delegates, guests, and student friends for this grand occasion. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and welcome you all once again.
சரிங்க அது ஓபன் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கேன் சரி. A respected chief guest for the valedictory session of the second Transformation E-Summit 2021. Mr. Dr. Maran Marimuthu, Professor in Management, Petronas Technical University, Malaysia. Convener of the conference, Dr. Thiagu, co-conveners, Dr. R. Sharmila, Dr. R. Kavida, and Dr. Anandi. SIDS Business School, Pollachi. I am extremely happy in extending a warm welcome on behalf of the management to all the dignitaries and the participants of the valedictory session. Now I am joining this session as the management representative, not as the employee of the institution. I am very happy that SIMS has arranged a 2-day international seminar on global business change and transformation, E-Summit 2021. A conference of this kind has become a necessity nowadays. As you all know, we are living in an era of digitalization. Technology is playing a major role in almost all sectors. Education is not different. A lot of developments, changes have been taking place across the world. And we in the field of higher education have to adopt the changes, update our knowledge, and enrich our biodata. So only in this view, I am very happy to know that SIMS has arranged a 2-day conference for the benefit of the educators in the field of higher education. I am very happy to note the topic they have chosen for the conference is not only very relevant in the present scenario of education, but also very appropriate. The topic being global business change and transformation. As you all know, lot of changes and transformation has been taking place in the business sector in the last 10 years. And it is the responsibility of the education institutions to identify the changes and transformation taking place in the various sectors, especially business changes and transformation, and they have to educate the people in the field of education sector. As you all know, digitalization has been taking place in India in a very fast speed. Our Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji is very much interested in the computerization and digitalization of India. Even he has declared India to become a digital India very soon, especially after the breakdown of COVID-19 last year. The digitalization has been taking place at a higher speed. In fact, the COVID-19 has accelerated the adoption of the digitalization at a very high speed in India. Now you may know, in the IT sector, 80% of the people are working from home. Before the breakdown of COVID-19, almost 100% of the employees were working in the IT shops. But now more than 80% of the people are doing their work selling a house has increased manifold. For the last 1 year, more than 90% of the housewives are not going to the malls and shops to buy their provisions. They simply make their order over the phone, or they send the WhatsApp, or they send the mails giving the list of the provisions required, and these things are delivered at their home. And similarly, if you want to book your tickets, either a train ticket or the bus ticket, or you want to buy a cinema ticket, everything has been computerized. So I am very happy that realizing the importance of the digitalization, especially in the business sector, the SIMS has arranged a 2-day conference on the title Business Change and Transformation. And my humble request is, knowingly, unknowingly, digitalization is penetrating in India, not only on the urban side, but also the rural side. So whether you are willing it or not, we have to accept it. It is going to rule India in the future. Now the question before us is how effectively we are going to make use of the digitalization for the development of the economy, for our own betterment, and how to extend the digitalization to the other sectors, untapped so far. Almost all sectors are started using the computerization or the digitalization, but in some sector it is taking place on a large scale. In some sector it has just penetrated. So the purpose of the seminar would be suggesting ways and means how effectively we can make use of digitalization, and also how we can carry forward, how we can expand to the other sectors. And I hope a large number of people have participated in the international conference. I am happy to learn more than 60 papers have been presented in this seminar, and I hope they would have suggested the ways and means of taking over the digitalization further, and how to expand to the other sectors. I am very happy that out of the 60 papers presented, the the conference committee has selected 3 papers as the best papers. And now I will announce the names of the recipients of the best paper awards. Ms. Sona Srivastava, research scholar, Som Hickingbottom, University of Agriculture, Technology and Sciences, Allahabad. Dr. Pranav Desai, Assistant Professor, Indukaka Ipkowala Institute of Management, Gujarat. Ms. B. Purnima, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Banking and Insurance, Nallamuthu Counter Magalingam College, Pollachi, Tamil Nadu. I take this opportunity to thank our management, our beloved President, Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayan, our beloved Secretary, Sri M. Balasubramaniam, and our management representative, G. Muniswamy, for all the support and cooperation and their motivation extended to us in arranging the program in a very grand manner. Similarly, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Karuswamy Pandian, who is very instrumental, not only in arranging this program, he played a key role right from choosing the title of the conference, arranging the resource persons abroad, and he had rendered a lot of support and help in making this program a grand success. On behalf of the management, I express my sincere thanks to Mr. Karubia Ramanathan. And I also express my sincere thanks to our SIMS team. I know the difficulty and hurdles you have to face in arranging a conference of this scale. In fact, the conference was conducted in a very short notice. Only 1 month back, we decided that we should go for international conference this semester. And right from that moment, our faculty worked 24/7, day and night, for the success of the seminar conference. And they worked hard with all sincerity, and they have taken a lot of efforts and pains in arranging the program. This is the first time we are arranging a program, a virtual program, and we had some difficulties, but with the help of experts and technicians, we were able to overcome all the hurdles, and our SIMS team have done an excellent job in making this program a very grand affair. And on behalf of the management, I thank every one of the faculty, especially the senior people, academic head, coordinator, and the co-coordinators, and for making this program a grand success. I also thank all the delegate participants who presented their papers and also took part in the various proceedings of the various sessions and made this program, made this exercise a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I take the privilege of introducing the chief guest of the day, Dr. Maran Marimuthu, Associate Professor, Department of Management and Humanities, Petronas Technical University. His industrial experience includes 5 years with Hong Leo Industries and Casio, Malaysia. His vast work experience in training and consultancy services are notably in Petronas Refinery and Petronas Industries. Training and consultancy works done. Feasibility study on development of Vailaya Peroxylatin involving various aspects, social, macro and microeconomic analysis. It is being submitted to the head of PKNP Perak. This is a perceptual study on local communities surrounding Malacca refinery operations. Cost optimization and project evaluation, Petronas Derivatives, Terengganu. Project cost estimation and project evaluation, NGK College, UTP. Cost estimation and project evaluation, Ahmad Danish Engineering College, UTP. Investment analysis, Chennai, India. Data analysis, Temistan. Census studies, ACC, CM. And his list of clients include in the international level, Sairam Engineering College, India, Petronas Karigali, Turkmenistan, Ahmad Danish Engineering College, India. His local projects includes Petronas Refinery, Malacca, Petronas Derivatives, Terengganu, Research Institutes, UTP. His research activities are as follows. To date, he has graduated around 8 PhD scholars and many more to come. He has published more than 100 international referred journals. He has co-authored books on financial management, international finance, and contributed articles for both local and international magazines. He has served as a trainer and consultant in O&G industry, including Petronas, especially on socioeconomic and cost analysis. He has visited Norway, India, Turkmenistan, Turkey, and Indonesia as visiting scholar for academic and research collaboration. He is currently holding internal and external research grants as leader and principal researcher and offering short courses for industry and P&G scholars. His qualifications are as follows. He holds a degree in business administration earned in 1994, master in business administration in University of Malaya in 2000, and his PhD in Business Administration in University of Malaya in 2011. His areas of expertise includes business and financial analytics, economic analysis in business, firm performance analysis, cost-benefit analysis, forecasting methods, cash flow analysis, project evaluation techniques, financing methods and analysis, business research methods, and data analysis. His professional certification and awards includes Finance Accreditation Agency panel member, Distinguished Scientist in Finance, VA of India, HRDF certified trainer. I'm so honored to introduce the chief guest, Dr. Maran Marimuthu, Professor in Management, Petronac Technical University. Sir, I kindly request you to deliver the valedictory address.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think it's a long introductions. Actually, nothing much achieved, very small, but I think a lot more to achieve. And I think with the link up with many more universities and colleges in India, that will be of great help, taking us to the next level of discussions. Thank you very much, ma'am, being the host of the sessions. First of all, I would like to congratulate the entire team members. It's not easy to conduct conference, a two-day conference, and now we can't see each other despite all the challenges. It has been conducted in a way that it is really impactful. I've glanced through the papers submitted, are fantastic. This is good. I think the topics you mentioned is very good. Thank you very much. I think I'm given about 30 minutes to complete my presentations. Okay, before I go further, first of all, I would like to thank quite a number of persons here, and I should not miss any important name here. First of all, thank you very much to Dr. R. Shamila, and we have Dr. P. Subramaniam. Thank you very much for the wonderful sessions, wonderful sharing sessions. I think Dr. Subramaniam shared some interesting, important issues regarding the conference and the focus areas that we have. And not forgetting, if I were to look at the whole picture, Conference Organizing Committee Chief Patron, Professor Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavaraya. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. I'm a Tamilian. I'm from Tanjore, and I'm proud to be a Tamilian. We have President Patron, Professor Shri M. Balasubramaniam, Secretary Patron, Secretary and Conference Chair, Dr. P. Subramaniam. I believe Dr. P. Subramaniam, who has just shared with us. Conference Convener, Dr. R. Tiagu. And we have quite a number of conference co-conveners. My apologies, I may not be able to read all, but I think we have Dr. Shamila, Dr. Ananthi, Dr. Ms. Kundavi Napinai, and we have conference organizing committee members, quite a number of names here. Sorry, I may not be able to read, but we have starting with Dr. R. Kavita right up to Ms. S. Tulasi Raman. Okay, thank you very much. And a special note of thanks to Professor Dr. Karpasamy. Thank you very much. He has contacted me, and it is a great honor to be with SAKTHI Institute of Information and Management Studies. Okay, thank you very much. And probably I can, shall I start my presentation? At first I thought not to show anything just by talking and clarifying and sharing whatever I have. But then I'm also concerned, one of the best ways to get participants glued to the screen by looking at some colorful things, probably that actually make everyone addicted, probably in a way glued to the screen. Nothing much, but then much of the work will be the talking, and I would like to talk and I would like to share. It is more on the sharing. Okay, without much ado, probably I will just share screen. Okay. All right, I hope all of you can see the screen. Can?
It's good to go.
Can, Rob? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this is a very special session. I am really honored to be part of the team, to be part of the team members, to be part of the entire effort taken by SAKTHI Institute of Information and Management Studies on global business change and transformation. And it is about E-Summit 2020. So this is very interesting. I'm part of this valedictory sessions here. So I hope I am delivering the right thing. Over here in Malaysia, we don't have all these protocols. It's a different kinds of things, but then we enjoy a part of the team and deliver what is required here. Okay, I am Maran Marimuthu. I'm from the Department of Management and Humanities, University Technology Petronas. We have a big group. We have an oil and gas company in Malaysia. For those who are not aware, this oil and gas companies, we discovered oil in the early 70s. Had British, detected that we had oil, I don't think British would consider giving us independence. So, so this oil is very important, and we have a very special company. We call these government-linked companies. It is owned in a way controlled by the government, but technically or categorically, it is a private company. We have Petronas, so as part of the company's effort, creating that kind of substantial, very tangible kind of social. Corporate social responsibility. So Petronas created this University Technology Petronas. All right, thank you very much. Okay, this is about my background. I think well mentioned by our host. Okay, this is a very interesting part. Global business expectations. I'm truly honored, and I'm so happy to see that the teams covered various aspects of these areas, global business related to what the world is really facing now. It's about business and management transformation. It's about It's about business and management transformation. It's about driving digital business transformation. And I like this word, financial implications before and post-COVID. And I do not know when exactly before, because COVID thought vanished, but looking back, looking at the situation now is coming back. And Malaysia, when we had 100, below 100, we had a total lockdown about a year ago. Okay, but today, shockingly, we've been posting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 cases on a daily basis. So we do not really know exactly when it's going to be the post-COVID-19. And of course, the transformation plan is there. Business process management is another theme, very interesting. And creating adaptive culture and continuous improvement, maintaining the improvement approach. And other than that, I like this, the business challenges and the fundamental lessons from the COVID-19 crisis. Okay, generally, when I look at this, I truly feel that this is a set of areas or focus areas that are very much needed as part of the understanding of the global business. So I should congratulate the entire team members. I think it is not just a kind of overnight kind of decision. A lot of thoughts put into writing and came up with this finding. Well done. Okay. Now going back to this, I would like to share some important points here. When we talk about global business, and we cannot run away from COVID. COVID-19 is the game changer. COVID-19 is the mother of all problems. If you are looking at a closer look at it, everything is somehow rather connected to COVID-19. Okay. Now, moving forward, when we talk about business change or transformation here, we definitely cannot run away from digital transformation. Everyone is talking about digital transformations. What's so special about digital transformation? Why are we considering digital transformation? Does digital transformation really matter? This is a very important and fundamental question here. Now, how people see that digital transformation offers some value to the business. I think in Malaysia, if I were to share, before COVID-19, in Malaysia, like for example, we have these small, medium enterprises. 98% of the business entities in Malaysia conquered, or rather very much dominated by these SMEs group. So if SMEs collapse, it's going to have a very significant, a serious impact on the Malaysian economy. That's why in many ways, when we had this COVID impact, what happened, the government was actually coming up with a few rounds of discussions, a few rounds of stimulus package, economic package, to help the industry, especially the digital, the SMEs to sustain. And interestingly, or rather, 1 minute. Interestingly, we also came to know that when COVID factored much of the business operations, another issue popped up, many SMEs dying out. And there was a study, how come all of a sudden business dying out just for a lockdown period of 3 months. And we were shocked that majority of the SMEs having, in a way, I would say a lead time of probably about 3 months. They can only sustain for 3 months. After that, the company will not be able to sustain because major cash flow problem. Whatever cash flows they have, only for 3 months. So this kind of things going on. So why digital transformation? It's about streamlining the operations. It is about cost effectiveness. It is about moving from one level to another level. And many people think that digitalization is about computerization. Not really. Digitalization is very much focusing on end-to-end. So this is what we are trying to put forward. When we talk about digitalizations, everyone got to understand that it is not about, okay, I got this problem, trying to computerize this, see how much cost I can save. No, it is actually done at a very high level, strategic intent, making sure that the top-down views must be there. In a way, we call this the kind of helicopter view we need to have. Everyone is very much inclined talking about digital transformation. But to be very frank, COVID-19 actually helped to speed up the implementations of digital transformation or digitalizations. Even before all this, we were talking about IR 4.0. IR 4.0 requires some kind of transformation, and digital transformation cannot be avoided. And what happened? People are very much into digital transformation. All of a sudden, it is no more a kind of, what do you call that, a gradual improvement. It becomes a drastic move. It's not a gradual move or drastic move. All of a sudden, people have to consider this. Why we have these issues? Something happened, and we have to come up with something to transform the whole thing. And one of the best thing is to digitalize. For the whole idea is we want to act fast. We want to know exactly what the customer, if you are talking about end-to-end, from the point, starting point right up to the customers. So those days, customers, we produce something one by one, and then finally the customer receives the goods, and then if they are not satisfied, they will come back, and a lot of things, redundant work. But with the digitalization, it's a real time. We know exactly what the customer wants, and we deliver exactly what they want. It's more on the cost effectiveness, the speed, all those things. Okay. So COVID-19 and digital transformation cannot be avoided. Some important key areas when we talk about digital transformation here, the key areas, obviously we cannot run away on these methods. One, technology. If you are talking about digitalization, we need to talk about technology, and we cannot run away from data. And of course, process, as I said, end to end. It is about blockchain. You need to know the whole process. So the management has to come in, the kind of helicopter view will help the companies to oversee the whole thing, right from the beginning to the end. And this is how you see the value. That's why I say that the management of the company's commitment and capability. On the other hand, The trend is already there. When we talk about digitalization, huge investment, people are now going for outsourcing. Everywhere talking about IT transformation process. All of a sudden, at one point, people were talking about this. Those who are studying for IT programming, it's already a sunset industry. Forget about it. But today, the whole thing coming back again, and those who are with IT background, I think in a way they can easily survive. Let me tell you, a lot of big companies, especially in the oil and gas industry, like Chevron, Shell, many people think that these companies are engineering based and therefore they are taking only the engineering background, those who are with the engineering background. My simple statistic shows that almost like 50% of the workforce are non-engineering students, are non-engineering people, mainly from business and IT. And these people are the movers and shakers in the industry. So transformation plan is already there. Only thing is, some companies, big companies, very much focusing on that. The small companies, they felt complacent with their own, operations. They forgot about it. But when there was a real shock hit their businesses, now they feel like time to change. Time to either you change and try to move from one end to another end. So the simple idea is either you mark up or pack up, or else the system will pack you off. So the business people got to understand this. Yeah. So end of the day, with all these information, we have business stage transformation. It should be leading to return on investment as well. End of the day, I think the paisa is more important. We need to make sure that we are better. We are benefiting from the implementation of digitalizations. Okay. Now, moving forward. Now, in the case, I would like to quickly share what we have here. In Malaysia, now we have a big push, a big technology push. I think the government started implementing a lot and going all out on the implementation of 5G and making sure that every part has to be connected and digitalized. And in line with this, SMEs, surprisingly, when COVID affected, what happened, almost like 50% already in the process of digitalizing their operations. Okay, we have small companies, as I said, these SMEs are small and medium, and they actually cater for 80% of the Malaysian workforce. Malaysian workforce is about 14 million. Our workforce is about 14 million. Imagine if SMEs collapse, 80% of the workforce will be jobless. So this is very, very critical. During the lockdown period, okay, majority, about over 50% of the SMEs could not sustain during the lockdown period, maximum 2-3 months. After that, what happened? Major layoff, workers layoff. Okay, so I think the guiding the mantra in most cases, everyone got to accept the fact that when COVID, I think many people remember COVID and correlating COVID with jobless. Many people lost their jobs. This is this cannot be denied. Okay, and of course, some of the critical sectors in Malaysia, like oil and gas, we had a tough time. I think contract workers all lost their jobs. Another sector, hotel, the tourism sector, hotels, all the transport badly affected. In Malaysia, some of the 5-star hotels already up for sale. So this is what. So taking everything into considerations, not only in the light of this COVID, I think the Malaysian government moving forward with a different mindset, following the tune. We don't want to be left behind. We don't want to be a follower. We also want to take the lead. We have come up with, the government just recently introduced Malaysian Digital Economy Blueprint 2030. I think they have a plan of what is going to happen in the next 10 years. Okay, and in the meantime, there is a push for digital banking, and there's another one, fintech. I think those people those who are interested to go further with fintech operations. I think this is another interesting part. All of these linked to the different new paradigm in the global business. Like it or not, many people say that fintech is a substitute. Strictly speaking, I would like to highlight this. You may not quote me, but then this is the fact. Strictly speaking, fintech supposedly to compete with the conventional banking system, the conventional bankers, strictly. Because fintech opens a new channel. You don't have to go to bank. You can actually deal whatever banking activities through these technologies. So banks become irrelevant. But I think in the case of Malaysia, we are trying to bring in the concept of fintech, the implementation of fintech. It's about digitalization. It's about financial technologies embedded into the digitalization process, making sure, I think in a nutshell, the way I look at it, I am an individual going to bank and I get all the services and come back. Can I get the same thing through this technology, digitalization? It's not about online services. It's not about online banking. Many people think online banking is already digital. It's just a small portion. If you are telling digitalization, this is the real digitalization, I can see that this has become a substitute. Okay, so this is the mindset. The conference actually, in a way, gave great boost to many people, participants, especially also the paper presenters, a great input that we are getting on these matters. I think this is the next move. SMEs and digitalizations, I think I already mentioned just now. So this is what is happening in Malaysia. We are really moving forward with this together with some of the ASEAN countries. Singapore is already ahead of us. So in line with this, I would also like to touch on this. While we are talking about digitalization, I would also like to encourage academics and lecturers to not to ignore digital currencies. This is the next wave, very, very important. I thought somewhere I did in finance, my PhD in finance, I'm teaching finance subject, but I personally thought it would vanish. Then I'm shocked. It has made a U-turn. It has made the U-turn and come back and going to blast the whole world with the next wave. So digital currencies looks like it's not the question whether, the question is when this Bitcoin, is part of the cryptocurrencies issues going to give a great impact the way we do business. It's going to change the way we do business in the global perspective. For example, in the case of Bitcoin, just imagine 5 years ago, those who had this Bitcoin worth only 1,000. But today that 1,000 has become 50,000. Can you imagine? It has gone up by 5-folds. And 1 year ago, it was 5,000. Now the value has become 50,000, tenfold. So I can see that this is no more. Of course, it is not well governed. It is not well, founded by any specific parties. It is there. But if you look at this Wikipedia, Japanese guy, some other guys all involved. But then the point is, this is the interesting part. And I thought, okay, fine, it's just by chance. Just imagine about in 2009, this guy is actually a programmer, Leslie Henye. He paid about 10,000 Bitcoins that actually cost him supposed to pay 30 USD, paid for pizza. And today, if we were to see the whole thing, I think he can actually buy a few outlets using the money. So the cryptocurrencies and digitalization is another important part that should not be ignored. So I think academics as well as practitioners, I think it should be initiated by the academics as well, people like us, never ignore this. And another contributing factor to this digitalization process, especially on the currencies, when we talk about digitalization, it's about organizations, but currency is also part of the digitalization process. And I'm shocked. 2 weeks ago, when I checked, Tesla invested about 1.5 billion USD in Bitcoin. So while it was like taking a steep dive, very quiet, suddenly this information spark off. Tends to spark off another big stories. Together with Tesla, there were another 2 more companies also involved. So, not only that, Tesla is making it clear, those in future, those who are interested to buy cars, from Tesla, they can use Bitcoins. My goodness, so that will be another transformation plan, there will be another great paradigm shift the way we do business globally. So, coming back to this, while we are talking about COVID-19 and the digitalization transformation plan, like it or not, we have to change. Many people, many businesses think that, okay, fine, we were doing fine and COVID affected my business. After COVID, so-called post-COVID period, everything will go back to normal. No such thing. There is no way businesses to go back to the status quo. This is a very important mindset for all business people. There is no way to go back to the business, to the status quo. So what we have today is what is going to be tomorrow. So the tomorrow's activities must be based on what we have. So COVID-19, the virus is invisible. The effect, all this becomes very tangible. We can see the figures. Figures do not lie. So some business threats, very important. I would like to highlight here. Time to reshuffle, relook into the into your business model. Companies, this is a high time. Companies to look at their business model, see what are the changes that can be made. And on the other hand, if their transformation model is weak, a business transformation model weak, not considered, and they are not sure, and a lot of things are not taken into consideration, is also a problem. Say, like, I give you another example, just like oil and gas companies. I hope all of you know that this oil and gas sector controls about a quarter or 25% of the world's equity market. If these oil and gas companies, if you look at this Fortune 500, you can see the top 10 companies, 70 to 80% of the top 10 companies are based in the energy sector. If this energy sector collapse, contributing trillions of dollars, will have a great impact on this. And some people are asking, no, I think oil and gas, time to shift to others, renewable energies, oil and gas may not be good, so the business may stop. No, Shell says the next 100 years, oil and gas, the crude oil, the dirty energy, one is clean energy, another one dirty energy will continue moving the world. So it is high time companies to look at the whole thing, change the business portfolio. If I'm involved in the upstream, time for me to consider on the downstream, midstream. So I'm also, I also should see possibilities of moving into renewable energy. So this is a kind of transformation model we have, we should have. Mismanagement of digitalization. Digitalization is good, but it's a double-edged sword. You use the wrong way, it may have a negative impact on the business. So this is another part of the issues that companies should understand. That is why the management should have a very clear helicopter view, exactly what to do with this. Huge investment is needed. On the other hand, COVID-19 is another interesting, is another reason why many companies collapse. One of the main reasons when COVID-19 affected businesses needed money, and these businesses actually asked for funds, and they had to look for banks, fine. But then there is another group. I purposely bring in the element of external funders. I hope many of you are aware of this group, private equity. This private, not private placement, private equity. A group of people coming in, okay, you need money, I give you money. Okay, fine. Okay, that is good because that is to turn around the company. However, you've got to understand, private equity, to me, it is another form of LBO, leverage buyout. It's already started in the 80s. So this company may have another point of view. Okay, we go in, make sure when we give money, it should be asset-backed funding. So when we give money, sometimes it helps them to ask for loan as well. And they know the company can never be turned around and the company will have a serious problem, finally file for bankruptcy. So these private equity funders, they have a very bad agenda. They have some other agenda. They want to help, after that, try to get the company completely looted by them. So this is another threat that, the COVID and the digitalization, whatever transformation plan we have, when we get funding, I think businesses must be aware of this kind of fact. They are not really doing good. They come in and to play out the company, to what do you call, dispose of the business. This is how the whole thing works. Actually, I have a lot of things. Probably we will try to cut it to some important understanding here. In line with this, digitalizations and sustainability here, I would like to add on this is, I think, second last point. Heading towards, when we are heading here, the world is global is heading towards 10 billion population. We need to have a transformation in view of meeting this. So the transformational thinking is very much important. How we look at it and how we strategize it, and we need to come up with some kind of strategic thinking, okay, at corporate level and the country level. Okay, in the case of Malaysia, the digital transformation, first try to digitalize the entire government departments. It's going to be public, after that private, and get everyone connected. Okay, on the other hand, post-COVID period 19, business dealings and investments aligned towards more sustainable. This is very important. Okay, whatever we do, it has to be aligned to the sustainable. What is sustainable? On the one hand, economic needs, fine. I need to take care of the community. I need to take care of the environment. So the combination of all, the point, the equilibrium point is the point that I should adopt, where no one is becoming a loser. Okay, just to add on, we have sustainable development goals by UN. I think we need to be consistent with that. And I would like to share this. This is a very important going on in Malaysia and other part of the world. ESG. This is the current guiding mantra for most corporate companies or most companies in the corporate world. ESG: environment, society, and governance. Now soon, how this is going to be very important, all companies to report on ESG. Failing to report on ESG, you can see that the effect is going to be on the company's valuation, and this will be reflected in the share price. So any bad signal on the reporting of the ESG by any company, the company will have to struggle on the value. So that is why this is going to be the new wave, and this is going to be the new guiding mantra, making sure the companies are conforming to the requirement on environment, society, and the governance. Governance issues already embedded here. This is all aligned towards sustainability. So in a nutshell, digitalization plus sustainability can be seen, can be synthesized as digitalability. So this is, don't quote me, probably just the analogy giving us that digitalization is good, but without sustainability is meaningless. So what is the year 2021 outlook? The key elements, of course, we got to dictate the key elements that can easily dictate the economy's performance. Obviously, I say economic fundamentals very important. I think one of the themes on the lessons learned, some companies collapse because of the fundamental, basic fundamentals. When you have assets, these assets, long-term assets, supposed to be financed by long-term debts. But in most cases, companies collapse. Why? Because long-term asset financed through short-term loans. So when the banks stop the short-term loans, assets cannot sustain anymore and the business collapse. So this is a very important part. Yeah? The fundamentals. Politics and governments, like it or not, plays a very important role in this regards. And together with this, performance of the corporate sector very important. Because this 2021, I wouldn't say post-COVID, still the COVID era, and employee well-being is another important part. So I would like to see that this 4E, economic and this politics, economic, this 2021, even in Malaysia probably, is going to be election year. So economic, election, earnings, employees, this become the 4Es. And another thing is that I also do online trading, buy, sell shares. I think those are doing that. Like it or not, there's another of all the drivers of the market. There's another driver nobody expected, but it does have a very significant impact. Vaccine. The announcement on vaccine actually, tends to push the markets to next level. So vaccine is also another determinant factor. So I think through the process of vaccinating the whole country, this will actually be part of, rather I would say a kind of catalyst to build the kind of confidence in the countries and to stimulate more economic activities. Okay, so last one, how does the transformation plan affect students? Okay, I'm throwing all this. We are talking about a lot of issues, how a student should benefit from these discussions. I think I would like to tell this, especially the business students. If you are a business student, if you read about finance, human resource, marketing, fine, the knowledge is there. The next level is if you want to sustain, if you want to have a proper, a great level of sustainability, if you want to excel, you have to move one step higher. You have to be, you need to have that kind of growth mindset. For example, if you do marketing, you have to know how to deal with marketing analytics. Because this is the process. Digitalization requires process, data, people, all those things. And they need this kind of skill. So while we are producing skills, students are going through the learning process. You may be very good, but go for extra things. Learn how to code, coding, very important. How to analyze data, how to come up with data, a set of data analytics. See, data analysis is different. Data analytics is different. Analytics, will help company to get the solution. If you analyze, but if you do analytics, business analytics, you're offering solutions to the company. I think the company wants them. The company wants beyond that point because digitalization is already there. So digitalization does not really recognize the basic knowledge. Digitalization requires a new set of mindset, understanding growth mindset with new input to support that operations. Okay, this is part of the global business, not only for companies, because universities are producing graduates for the companies. So I think we need to have a different mindset moving forward with that. Okay, with that, I would like to say thank you very much, and I hope with all these, again, I would like to reiterate the sessions that we have is really contemporary. I should again congratulate the entire team members. It is not just a conference. It is a kind of explosion of knowledge. I hope participants, including the students, can see exactly what is happening around you. It is not just going to universities or colleges to study and get a degree. People would like to see certain things, what robots cannot do, but you can do. If you can have that, if you can sustain, if you can convince yourself these things cannot be done by robots, then you get jobs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It is a pleasure listening to your speech, and it very much narrates digital transformation is more about humans than digital. Thank you very much, sir. It is a privilege to have you for our valedictory session. Thank you. Now, I request Dr. R. Kavita, Associate Professor, to deliver the repertoire report of the conference.
Respected Chief Guest of the valedictory function, Dr. Maran Marimuthu, respected Director, Academic Head, faculty friends, research scholars, and students. Good evening to all. In this pleasant evening, I am happy to present a report about the International Conference on Global Business Change and Transformation E-Summit 2021. SIMS has organized a two-day international conference on Global Business Change and Transformation E-Summit 2021 on 11th and 12th March. The inaugural session began with the welcome speech delivered by Dr. P. Subramanian, Advisor, SIMS, in the august presence of our beloved President, Dr. B. K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar, In his welcome address, he explained about the importance of the conference and highlighted the digitalization concept and its impacts. After the welcome speech, the chief guest was introduced by Dr. R. Balaji Vignesh, Assistant Professor, SIMS. The conference is inaugurated by the chief guest, Mr. Jitendra C. Patel, Chief Executive Officer, Global Safety Consultants, LLC, USA. He gave inaugural speech and wonderful lecture on the title Leadership for a Better World. He spoke on the driving effectiveness in business leadership initiatives, management versus leadership, impact of leadership, and leadership traits with practical examples. Inaugural speech was followed by the keynote address by Mr. Ashok Karlapati, Advisor, Member, Global Operations Practice Specialty Director of BCSP USA. He was introduced by Ms. Kundavina Pinai, Assistant Professor, SIMS. He spoke on the topic technological changes and he explained why the technology change is important for companies. He also pointed out the technology revolution in oil and gas industry and major trade movements in the global level. Dr. R. Tyagu, academic head, SIMS delivered vote of thanks at the end of the session. After the inaugural session, technical session 1 was started at 11:30 a.m. with the topic Business Transformation, Trends and Challenges. Kandappan Balasubramanian, Associate Professor, School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor's University, Malaysia was the first keynote speaker. He spoke on the topic Global Business Change and Transformation with special reference to hospitality, tourism, and events. He covered dining experiences, restaurant trials, golf quarantine vacation, and vaccine passport during the corona period. He also spoke about the use of artificial intelligence in the agriculture field and retail shop operations. Mr. Anand Meyyappan, Business Head, South and West India, MoneyGram National, was also the keynote speaker. He delivered address on the topic Business Trends and Challenges. Dr. D. Kumaresan, Principal, Lakshmi Narayana Arts and Science College for Women, Dharmaburi, gave keynote address in the topic Digital Transformation and Business Process Transformation. He spoke on transformation on education, food delivery system, and digital payments. In the post-lunch, technical session 2 was started at 2 p.m. with the topic Futuristic View of Global Business. Dr. K.V. Somnath, Assistant Professor, GS College of Commerce, Wardha, Maharashtra, delivered keynote address. He spoke on business diversification, digital transformation, on functional areas, business collaborations, digital economic transformation, and digital financial system with real-time experience. Dr. M. Muthu Associate Professor, School of Business and Management, Christ University, Bangalore, gave keynote address on artificial intelligence and virtual agents, a catalyst for the global business. He covered customer-centric concepts of artificial intelligence. Technical session 3 was started on 12th March at 10 a.m. with the topic HR and marketing trends in new generation business. Keynote speaker of the session was Karthikeyan Jawahar, CEO, Karma Innovations. He spoke on the HR and marketing trends. Dr. Maran, Dean School of Management, Sairam Engineering College, Chennai, delivered a keynote address on startup policies, outsourcing, and HR in organic firms. Dr. P. Nandan, Professor in Commerce and Management, Government First Grade College, Bannur, Karnataka, delivered a keynote address on the topic Transformation on Banking, Finance, and Financial Services. Dr. R. Nandagopal, Director, Xavier Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship, Cochin, also delivered keynote address in this session. We have received more than 60 quality research papers presented by more than 100 authors and co-authors in the technical session 4. Dr. Shekhar, Associate Professor, National Institute of Technology, Calicut, Dr. Karpusamy Ramanathan, CEO, Spectrum Skills Jordan City Academy, and Dr. B. Chitra, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Commerce, Sri Sankarlal Sundarbai Shashan Jain College for Women, Chennai, were the chairpersons for the paper presentation program. For the valedictory function, Dr. Maran Marimuthu, Professor in Management, Petronas Technical University, Malaysia, is the chief guest. Valedictory function began with welcome address delivered by Dr. Sharmila, Professor Sims. It is followed by the felicitation address Subramanian, Advisor Sims. After the felicitation address, chief guest delivered valedictory address. He spoke about the global business and expectations, business change and transformation. The session will be concluded with vote of thanks, will delivered by Ms. or Anandi, Assistant Professor Sims. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. We are grateful to many hearts who made this event possible. May I now request Ms. R. Anandi, Assistant Professor Sims, to deliver the vote of thanks.
It's my
Anandi,
privilege
ma'am,
and
now
honor
you're
to
audible.
Global Business Tech.
Please go ahead, ma'am.
Our beloved President, Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanorayar, has been instrumental in all our endeavors. His vision and interests have once again culminated in another success story of SIMS journey. On behalf of Director, faculty, and students of SIMS, I wish to thank him for all his support in organizing the two-day international conference. We are really very grateful to our respected chief guest, Sri Jitendra C. Patel, CEO, Global Safety Consultants, USA, and keynote speaker, Mr. Ashok Garlapati, Vice Chairman, GSHP, for gracing this occasion and for throwing light upon how the change management in the era of digitalization, especially in these pandemic times, have a significant impact on the business performances of companies across the globe. A special thanks to our advisor, mentor, Dr. P. Subramanian, for his dynamic coordination of the program in a successful way. I also thank Dr. R. Thiagu, Head Academics, Conference Convener, for his immense contribution for the success of this two-day global conference. It's a great opportunity for me to thank the chairpersons and the speakers of the technical sessions, Mr. Kandappan Balasubramanian, Faculty of Social Science, Taylor's University, Malaysia, Mr. Anand Mayappan, Business Head, Manigram International, Mr. D. Kumaresan, Principal, Lakshmi Narayana Arts and Science College for Women, Dharmaburi, Dr. R. Nandagopal, Director, Xavier Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship, Chennai, Dr. K.V. Somanath, Assistant Professor, GS College of Commerce, Maharashtra, Mr. N. Muthugopalakrishnan, Associate Professor, Christ University, Bangalore, Mr. Karthikeyan Jawahar, CEO, Karma Innovations, Dr. Maran, Dean, School of Management, Sairam Engineering College, Chennai, Dr. P. Nandan, Professor, Government First Grade College, Bannur, Karnataka, Dr. Shekhar, Associate Professor, National Institute of Technology, Calicut, Dr. Karpusamy Ramanathan, CEO, Spectrum Skills Yard and City Academy, Dr. V. Chitra, Professor and Program Coordinator, School of Commerce, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shashan Jain College for Women, Chennai, for their consent and gracious presence in this occasion. Indeed, it's my great pleasure to thank the chief guest of the valedictory session, Dr. Maran Marimuthu, Professor, Petronas Technical University, Malaysia, for accepting our invitation and gracing this valedictory session. And I wish to thank all the delegates for all their efforts in participating and presenting their research papers in this two-day international conference. And I'm very happy. I would like to extend my special thanks to the directors, deans, heads, manager, and faculty members from NGM College for their overwhelming support and participation. I take immense pleasure in thanking my colleagues, Professors Dr. R. Balaji Vignesh and Ms. Kundavi Nappinai for their wonderful and timely coordination of Masters of Ceremony for this two-day event. I also wish to thank all the students who are integral part of our institution. We are indeed grateful to the media, both the print and the electronic media, for supporting SIMS at all times. Finally, I thank all the members of the organizing committee and all my colleagues and staff members who have been involved in this great occasion. Once again, we thank each and every one for your wonderful coordination and cooperation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Let's call it a day, a very fruitful day. Thank you all for joining. We at SIMS shall meet you soon with another exciting event. Now, it's goodbye from us.